G'day, Tom Garriman, Sales Representative at Apex Results Realty located in Burlington, Ontario. I operate from Grimsby through to West Mississauga. So on 24th of September, what we're having here is our real estate market update. Now, my last post, I just need to point this out, was coming out of, obviously, summer, the end of August there. And for myself, as per normal, or as what I would expect real estate to be as normal, the market had slowed in July and August. However, I've been at a few meetings since that time and talked to some different people, and we have not had your traditional slowdown over the summer. Now, if one person is really busy, that's fine. That's a fluke. If one person is doing nothing this biggest time of the year, that's a fluke. We had a good number of listings still coming on the market, and talking to some different people at these meetings, obviously, and hearing some presentations on it, the summer actually was busier than I would have expected. Now, part of this would be my fault. I did take a little bit of time off to be with the family, go away for a little bit, and spend some time away from the work world. And I also did some other stuff with reserves toward the end of the summer. But traditionally, summer is slow. So we've had a decent speed going across the market. And here we go. Interest rates, they are still historically low. Lowest I've heard about recently is 2.89% for 5-year fixed. Variable rates can go a little bit lower. Interest rates are not expected to go anywhere, up or down, really, not seriously, until middle of 2015. I understand inflation is a little bit higher than they were expecting. And if you were to include things like housing prices and a number of other factors that were removed from that calculation, I think you would see we have a bit more inflation than the 2.2 or 2.3% they were calling for. So at the moment we have historically low interest rates. Yes, and you can still get a 90-day lock-in on a rate. So even if a change happens tomorrow, you're still covered for the next 90 days. Now, here's the next thing. Supply. Now, for the last couple of years, our supply has been low. So instead of having 10 houses for sale in an area, you had 4. So something nice goes up, everyone goes running to look at it because it just hit the market. There are 3 offers because there are 7 people looking to purchase, and it's a nice property that meets the requirements, and you have multiple offers, and this drives the price up. After a few months, the other properties, which needed some work or perhaps were a little bit high in price, they would just hit down once and their price looks more enticing. But at this exact moment, we have a good bit of inventory on the market. We don't have 4 out of 10. We don't have what we had 6, 7 years ago. We don't have 10 out of 10. But I would definitely say we have 7 or 8 properties out of 10. We're coming back up to the correct quantity we should have on the market any time. And just recently, a good number of listings were hitting. It seems to be slowing down right now. It could just be a hiccup for a day or two, but I believe we're going to have a few more properties hitting the market, and they'll be on the market. Now, I'm not saying the market's going to slow down. I'm not saying the market's going to stop, but I would normally expect the fall market, which is the second best of the year, to go from September through to possibly beginning of November for listings and lots of activity on purchasing. It could just be a hiccup in the last 3 days. You never know. Now, next week or so, or 2 weeks, it may pick up and it may just go right through the roof, because I know there's some people getting property ready to sell. So, at the moment, there are more properties on the market. Prices are obviously still higher because they've been pushed up over the years. And you know what? Interest rates are low, prices are going to be higher, but inventory is going up. This means that your attractive properties are going to still sell relatively quickly. I would say within a week or so of listing, you should have a solid offer in your hand. If you are overpriced, then you're going to wait. I'm aware of one situation where a property was listed and an offer came in almost immediately. Now, the buyer brought the offer they thought was fair. The seller sat there and said, well, this is my list price based on what everything else is going for in the area. I think this is fair. But it was a low ball. Now, that's more than 5% off of the list price within the first few days. It didn't fly. The buyer kept looking and I believe has found something else by this point. The seller, I'm not quite sure if they're still on the market. Haven't been paying a lot of attention to them. It's just something I heard again in the office, and I just a bit of research, a bit of asking questions, trying to find out what's going on, where are we going. Not just from my perspective, but try to get a bit of a census from the rest of the realtors I know. Because by doing this, I make sure I'm not giving you my skewed information. It's still going to happen sometimes. I'm trying to minimize that. So the next thing, crystal ball comes out. And the crystal ball, which you can't see because I don't have one, because no one does, not that works anyway. What do I see in the next bit? I see the market's going to be decent until the end of the year. It's going to slow down, obviously, for the Christmas rush. There's no big announcements coming out on anything that would have a major impact on it. I can't see interest rates shooting up, period, in the next bit. I think interest rates will stay low until 2015. They'll go up to 3.5% possibly, but I'm not seeing much higher than that. Again, estimating, guessing. Okay? But I don't see it doing that before the middle of 2015. And unless something changes, I would expect to see that until 2016. Government's put the brakes on. Markets like Toronto are hot. Big money there. Big increases. Other areas like Hamilton, Burlington, not Oakville so much, but those prices, while you have seen some big increases, not insane. Low-end starter properties, hard to find. Not a lot of people are immediately upsizing like they used to every 2 or 3 years. They're staying longer, so there's less properties in the market, or there have been. And so when they come on the market, everyone goes through, and if it's a good starter, they're out, as in off the market. However, if you are sitting there saying, hey, what about these other ones over here, like, high-end properties? They are selling quickly too. Not always, but definitely more of them are coming off the market faster. So I think we'll see that carry on for another month or two. We'll have a slowdown around winter when the proper Christmas holidays start. And if you are looking at selling, I'd recommend getting everything lined up now. I've seen people getting ready for 2 or 3 or 4 months now. And they're not ripping out half of the rooms in their property, having contractors coming in. They're just really, really busy, and they are painting, perhaps doing some flooring in 1 or 2 rooms. Minor updates to kitchens and bathrooms, which are always detractors. And they're taking a bit more time because they know the market's going to slow down, or because they want to do it right so they have less hassles when they sell. It can go either way. Again, argument. If you want to buy and you're a renter, you can start looking immediately. 60 days notice. If you're on month to month, not a problem. If you're a homeowner and you want to purchase, then do I buy first, or do I list, maybe sell in a day, or do I list and possibly be on the market for 3 months and then buy? Depends on your financial situation. My recommendation is always do what works best for you. That's a cop-out. I would get listed. I'd put the offer in and be looking. Actually, first I'd be looking and then find the property, make sure it's the right one, and put the offer in. If you have to go firm, you may have to do that still in this market today if there's interest. That means you have to keep an eye on your property and make sure it sells fast. Anyway, so I think we're okay for now. If I say 2016, 2017, that's unrealistic. 3 months into the future, no problem. In 2015, I don't think we'll have a problem till mid-month or mid-year. And that's sort of it. Anyway, sellers, buyers are being a bit pickier. There's more inventory. Your property has to be nice. It has to be finished. It cannot have major structural problems. Now, if you have one thing, I need a few new windows. I have a few original windows and they're old. One thing, not a problem. But if the entire property is starting to get dated, the roof is getting on in years, the furnace is getting on, the air conditioning is getting on, some of the windows need to be done, and possibly your kitchens and bathrooms need work, you're not going to get the same price. The people who have granite newly installed hardwood, just did the roof, and their furnace is only 10 years old. When you compare the two, the one that needs no work or very little is going to be gone fast, and yours will be sitting on the market till you adjust price. Don't take my word for it. Please feel free, list for top dollar, and after a month or two, make sure you're adjusting your price down and don't purchase first. I've seen it. I've been through a few properties myself. Exact same property, very, very similar. Dated, not dated. Off the market, not the dated one. Dated one is still on the market. I actually asked the realtor when they're doing a price adjustment, and I was told later. If you want to sell, if you're serious, watch the price, or spend the money on the upgrades that are important. Anyway, that's been it. Hope you're doing well. Enjoy the year. It's still fluctuating a bit, cold for a little bit, very, very warm then. Enjoy your day. Take care. Get ready if you want to buy or sell. Start asking questions now for whenever you want to hit the market. December is not the time. At least not what I recommend for the mainstream. Take care, and remember, no matter what else goes on, always stay positive.